You guys ready for the last comic of the night? Woo! Yeah! This guy, over the summer, just won the Guild's Great Comic Search, Lapping the Face of Cancer concert. Please welcome Mr. Stypula, everybody.
What up? I've been trying to follow Jesus and accept Jesus and do what's right in his eyes. So I went to the nearest church and sacrificed a lamb on the altar. Turns out that's not the way to do it. That priest was fucking pissed. It cost $300 to clean up. Jesus, I thought you were into this weird kind of shit. No, just give me a sign. Before, using two of my cats as nunchucks and smearing my blood all over the walls of my house. And after all that, I just looked up and I was like, bro, you are pretty fucking good at this. I just went to the doctor. He told me I had to stop cutting myself. He said, you got all these deep cuts and lacerations all over your body. And I was just like, well, then you find the microchips, asshole. You know, people tend to get pretty pissed off when they find you going through their garbage. Which is why I always take a baby with me. You hide it at the bottom of the trash can, anybody confronts you, you pick up the baby, say, actually, I was just trying to save this baby you threw away. Hey, you know what's a better prank to pull on someone than putting a flaming bag of shit on their front porch? It's putting a baby in a bag and lighting it on fire. Here's where the real joke starts. After they put the fire out, you say, sir, you just kicked a baby to death! What the fuck is wrong with you? Just because you're afraid of a little fire? You just killed a baby! You might want to get out of here, man! I came up with a game to replace Russian roulette. It's called American roulette. You put a loaded handgun into a microwave for 5 minutes, stand in front of it. Next person puts it in for 6 minutes, etc., etc. You know, I just found out the hard way that just because you go into a McDonald's dressed as Ronald McDonald doesn't mean they'll do anything you want them to. I wanted a blood milkshake. And I supplied blood. I've been trying out this pickup line on girls in a bar. I go up to them and I say, hey girl, you want to take a ride on my bulldozer? And they'll be like, what do you mean? In the front shovel part or in the back or in the cab? And I'll be like, that's up to you, baby girl. I haven't had any takers yet, you believe that? Hey, you know what I don't get? How come two people can dress up as furries and fuck each other and I can't dress up my dog as a person and fuck it? Hold still, Rex. I mean, Nancy. You know what else I don't get? Ghost hunting. It's already dead. I always thought the real joy in hunting was standing over something and watching it die. With a massive erection. Or an engorged clitoris if you're a girl. No, I always try and reassure people that I mean them no harm, but it turns out the more times you say you're not a pedophile or a murderer, the more suspicious people become. One thing I like to do is I go to a kitchen store, let's say like a kitchen store in a mall, and I find the biggest, the most expensive knife I can, and I just hold it up to my throat and start screaming, I'm gonna kill myself, I'll do it! I'm suicidal, I'm gonna kill myself! And you start backing towards the door, back and say, I'm gonna kill myself, I'll slit my throat! And you back up, you back out the door, you run away, you got a really nice knife! Did you ever hear that dolphins are the only other species of animal that has sex for pleasure? Oh yeah, it's true, it's true. You ever also hear that they're the only other species of animal that will murder for pleasure? It's a fact, Jack! They'll kill porpoises, they won't even eat you. But you know what? I still think we're the only species of animal that will have sex with something we just murdered. So fuck off, dolphins, we're still #1! Yeah! Well, I hated doing chores when I was a kid. Probably the biggest chore I had was to make sure my dad was hard so he could fuck my mom. I also hated doing the dishes. One thing I loved doing as a kid was playing doctor. Oh, I loved to play doctor with all the little girls. I'd get out my doctor bag, inspect them, and tell them they had inoperable cancer. Then I'd fuck them. I always carry around a dildo with me as like a test dildo, you know, to stick in something before you stick in your actual dick. Like women or animals or glory holes in a truck stop bathroom. If you're in truck stop bathrooms as often as I am, it's a great tool to have. Because you don't know what's on the other side of that glory hole, and it's really poor etiquette to actually look. You know what the biggest difference between courting women and animals is? It's that women will use words when they express whether they want to have sex with you or not. Like yes or no. Animals are a little more subtle. You gotta smooze them. Sometimes you gotta wine them and dine them. You have to take them out to dinner. A lot of times the waitress will ask you, they'll say, what are you doing taking this dog out to dinner? Oh, I'm trying to fuck it. Why does anybody take anything out to dinner? Dipshit. I like, you know that game Telephone where y'all sit around in a circle and then you say something and it always comes back different at the end? I like to play that with the voices in my head. I'll say like, oh, I'm gonna go to this grocery store, pick up some cheddar cheese, whatever, fucking whatever. And without fail, always, every time it comes back, take a bath in the blood of an innocent virgin. And if I don't do it, all 8 voices at the same time will start talking about interior decorating. They'll be like, you should really get some floral window dressings for your dining room. Like, I don't even have a dining room. Yeah, we need to talk about that, too. You really need to spruce this place up. Like, shut up! Just shut the fuck up, I'll do it! I'll kill her and I'll bathe in her blood! Just quit fucking talking about window dressings! Jesus Christ! Somebody who looks exactly like me just came to my door and showed up at my front door, and he said, I'm a robot version of you sent from the future to kill you. And I was like, well, you're fucking late. But come in anyway. I'll put the tea kettle on. Let's talk about this. So I got us a couple cups of tea. We got to talking. At one point, we locked eyes, and it was love. He's pregnant. I don't know how. I mean, I fucked him. I know that's how you get something pregnant. You fuck it. But I don't know how a human gets a robot pregnant. Anyway, in 9 months, we're expecting a horrible abomination. I just put a giant bird bath out in my front yard with a sign on it that said Thunderbirds only. Turns out birds can't read. So a bunch of regular little birds started bathing in it, and somebody told me that Thunderbirds don't even exist. So I got really pissed and just filled the thing with bleach. Put a sign in it that said, this is filled with bleach, you fucking idiots! Did you also know that leprechauns aren't real? Yeah, I put a little trap and a pot of gold and like a bag of cocaine because it seems like they like that a lot too. They're trying to catch one. And you know what? Some regular guy came and stole it. You believe that shit? Apparently gnomes aren't real either. I was just talking to one of my friends the other day. I was like, man, all these gnomes have been stalking me and following me around. He's like, man, gnomes aren't real. And I said, well, then who the fuck is buried in the backyard? We dug them up. It was just a bunch of kids. Who knew? One of my favorite pastimes is that I make my own chum. Use that as like a condiment or a sandwich topping, but I don't use it for fun. If it went anywhere where there's water, I'll chum it. You got a sink full of dishes, I'll chum it. I'll chum the river and see if a shark comes. I'll chum your toilet, and I'll throw a dead baby shark in it and accuse you of not keeping your toilet clean for the wildlife. Do you know that sharks don't even like humans? They don't even like to eat them? You can't make chum out of humans. Found that out the hard way. Now just just make them out of kids' goldfish. Sometimes I dig a tunnel underneath my house up into my neighbor's basement. I say, is this China? I was just babysitting my friend's kid the other day, and she's raising a vegetarian. I thought, this is perfect, because the only DVDs that I have are PETA videos of slaughterhouses. So I sat the kid down, popped it in, and the little fucker wouldn't stop crying. And he wouldn't eat any of the fruits or vegetables I have in my house because I paint faces on them all and give them names. The kids these days, huh? They keep fucking eaters. I just found this little assignment that I had to do in elementary school. It was make a list of 5 people from a profession who inspire you. And the list I had was John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Jack the Ripper, Ted Bundy, and Ed Gein. And I got an F on it. Just because technically you need 3 kills to be a serial killer, and Ed Gein only had 2. 7-year-olds don't mix those kind of details. They don't understand that shit. The man upholstered his furniture and made lampshades with skin from bodies he dug up. I think he should at least be in the fucking conversation. Jesus. Is it too soon to talk about how when I was a kid and I watched the video of the JFK assassination, his brains popping out looked like a bunch of bubble gum to me, and I always wanted people's heads to explode so I could have gum because my mama wouldn't let me have gum. I couldn't think of any other way to get it. How about this? Is it too soon to talk about the fucking dinosaurs? I used to love dinosaurs. There used to be these massive lizardly beasts that were furious. Now people tell me that they had feathers on them. Turns out they were just a bunch of feathery queers. Dinosaurs used to get me hard. And now these queer fucking feathery dinosaurs get me so soft that my dick almost like shrivels up inside me, almost like a vagina. These queer feathery dinosaurs make me a woman. Listen, I know it's only been 6,000 years, but I think it's time to start a dialogue about this. If I was a superhero, I'd be called the Amazing Vanisher, because I'd roam the streets at night looking for violent crime, and as soon as I found it, I'd vanish and look for the best spot to videotape it from. Because look, listen, crime scene photos are great. I love them. But if I had to offer an analogy, crime scene photos are to me what watching the very end of a porno movie is to regular people. I need the whole thing, not just the cum shot! I was just playing Monopoly the other day. Did you know there's a secret chance card you can buy for $1 million that ends the game immediately and declares you the winner? Yeah, it's called the Global Jewish Banking Conspiracy card. Hey, you know what the real conspiracy about the moon landings is? It's not that we didn't land on the moon. It's that the moon is made out of cheese. For years, they've had secret moon bases to harvest the cheese, bring it back to the processing center at Area 51. Think about it. You ever seen cheese being made? No, nobody has. Where the hell do you think it comes from? Brave Davidians found out about this. What would happen to them? Another thing, you look real closely at the footage of 9/11, you look at the towers, you see they're made out of cheese. Basically what I'm trying to say is that most conspiracies are cheese-based.